Hi everybody, it's Amalia and I'm here today with the September 2020 sketch and supply list for a sheetload of cards. Every month, Alicia from Call Me Crafty Owl supplies this sheetload and supply list and the cutting guide for a sheetload of cards. And don't you know that this month the sheetload of cards is for a Slimline card? And don't you know that Slimline cards are all the rage? You know, the craft industry is such a fast moving and innovative industry. They're coming out with so many things all the time, but I wasn't happy about this Slimline thing. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that at the end of the video. This is some shimmer cardstock that I used as the base of my card, and this is some of the gold glimmer cardstock that I used as well. I used the die that says, "A bit of kindness to brighten your day." These are some marbleized envelopes that I had. They actually have Hallmark embossed on the back, and it's just part of a stationery set that I had. There's my Created by Amalia stamp that I put on the back of my cards. So let's take a look at the cards. I made a total of 6 cards. 2 of them came out great. 2 of them came out okay, and the last 2 were a hot mess. Or really the first 2 I made were a hot mess, and you'll see that in a little bit. Here I'm showing you the mirror cardstock that I used. It is an awesome mirrored cardstock, but it does not work well with intricate dies like this particular sentiment die. As you can see from the map, Alicia suggested a sentiment be stamped out and put above the designer paper, but I decided to go with a sentiment die that I had. Okay, so let's take a look at the hot mess of it all. I tried with my mirror cardstock, and you can see this was a hot mess, and I decided to try and outline it in white gel pen to make it appear less of a hot mess. And this one was a different type of cardstock, still a thinner cardstock. The best ones were with the glitter cardstock that I used, and that was Nina cardstock. It was a thicker, heavier weight cardstock, and it's 65 pounds, but it was a nice weight to it. So these are the last 2 cards that I made with the Nina cardstock, and they were just easier to cut. They came out of the die easier, they didn't bend and tangle, and they came out great. The mirror cardstock looks terrific, and the other cardstock looked great too. You can see them here, but they just didn't come out of the die very easily, and so they got real tangled, and they weren't easy to put on the card as a result. So in a last-ditch effort to salvage these cards as best as I could, I decided just to throw on some enamel dots and be done with it. So I said earlier I wasn't happy about this Slimline thing, and there's a couple of reasons for it. 1, it wastes paper, and 2, everybody's doing it. Everybody's posting pictures on Facebook and Instagram and making videos on YouTube, and all the stamp companies and the paper crafting companies are making dies and stamp sets specifically for Slimline cards. Everything right now is Slimline cards. So you might be thinking to yourself, so what? So what, it wastes paper? So what, everybody's making Slimline cards? It's really popular. You've got plenty of paper. It's not like you're going to run out. Plus, they use business-size envelopes, which are easy to find and inexpensive, and you'll only need 1 U.S. postage stamp to mail something out. Well, I guess it's the popular thing. I guess I have an aversion to things that are wildly popular, like they're suspect to me for some reason. I guess it's like because everybody else has it and is doing it, and if you don't have it or do it, you're less in some way or shape. Not being part of a shared experience makes you feel left out, makes you feel separate, and it's easy to be included. Just do what everybody else is doing. So while I'm not the type of person that will follow the crowd and do what the crowd is doing, that doesn't mean I'm not going to make slimline cards. Sure, I'll make slimline cards. As I said before, I've got plenty of paper, but I don't want to fall into the trap of having to buy all the Slimline products, like the dies that look so awesome, and the stamp sets that look pretty cool too. So I guess what I'm saying is new stuff is always coming out and I'm always going to want it, but I'm really trying hard to hold back and not buy all the things. And it's hard not to want all the things. And it's even harder not to buy all the things because item for item, they're not terribly expensive, but they can sure add up, can't they? And then there's the problem of, well, where do you put it all? Well, I guess I better wrap up this silly little rant of mine, but I do want to let you know that I've been pretty good with my discretionary spending lately, and in fact, for the month of August, I've done better all month with buying craft supplies than I have the entire year. So I'll have my Crafty Goals collab update this Saturday at 3 p.m. Come by and check it out. Also, check out on my channel my D-Stash. I've recently D-stashed a bunch of dies from Momenta. Check out that video if you're interested in some dies at a great deal. So here's a final look at the cards. They're not all completely terrible. And so this is my very first Slimline cards. Don't forget, everybody, this is a collaboration. There's a bunch of people in the description. You should totally check them out and give them a thumbs up too, but give me a thumbs up. And thanks for stopping by, everybody. Bye!